3 reasons why trader educators don't trade professionally. Hi, it's Charlie giving you Saturday's video. Hope you're very well. When I say don't trade professionally, what I mean by that is don't manage money. I am an FCA regulated money manager, and because I've always wanted to put my neck on the line, if I want to educate, I see it that I want to be able to, and it's a personal choice, of course, but if I want to educate, I feel like I need to back that up with all these things that I do, such as the trading challenges over the years, put myself into trading competitions, 5 years undefeated, and all of the things that I've done over the years, and likewise with professionally managing money. So what are the 3 reasons that trader educators don't professionally manage money? Because there's a lot of trading education companies and educators out there. Well, probably the number 1 reason is that the vast majority of trader educators can't actually trade. That's the reality. So they're brilliant on social media, brilliant at all that type of stuff. They'll probably even show all sorts of cleverly doctored results and things like that. But the reality is that at least 80%, I would say, of trader educators can't or don't trade even. They are professionally trading educators. They may not even trade. They might know everything about the markets, and they might have some wonderful patterns and things like that they have, but they can't actually trade themselves. They wouldn't want to put their money on the line. And I've seen this firsthand via my regulators. They years ago gave the option to a number of trader educators to come onto their platform and trade. And literally only a couple of trader educators, myself being one of them, actually proved themselves over the long run. Others, and some quite famous names in trading education, failed to make a profit, actually made some quite substantial losses. So that's number 1. Now, number 2, of those that can trade, it might be that actually they choose not to. They're just not interested. And that's fair enough. I wasn't interested for years, and so just thought, well, what do I want to do that for? I'm quite happy managing my own money, And so let's put that down. They choose not to. So, and that could just be for a variety of reasons. Now, bearing in mind, like I've already said, the majority of trade educators aren't profitable, but there are obviously a few who are. And it could be that it's a personal choice that they say, no, I'm not interested in doing that. Okay, fair enough. And why not? You don't need to. And so, yeah, fair enough. I've actually already messed this up. So I've got can't trade up here. And really, this one should be don't trade. I think I put them both into the same one. So, yeah, another one is this one really should have been the first one. The first one is that a vast majority of these people out there who are trader educators don't actually trade. Number 3 really would be the people, so many of them can't actually trade. They are trading, they do trade, but they can't trade sustainably, profitably over a sustained period of time. So they might well be able to trade. And again, there's lots of these people out there, and they know the markets, they know they can teach you stuff, and they can teach you their patterns, and they've got all sorts of weird funnel methods and lightning methods and you name it, and weird and wonderful approaches. And but the reality is that they actually can't trade, and I already alluded to seeing that over the years, and having spoken to my regulators who have dealt with a lot of traders over the years, and their conclusion is that the majority of these people can't actually trade profitably. They can produce fun enough, a history, but when it comes to actually trading, the results end up always just going down. So it's a funny business, this business of trader education. So what is my advice to you? So I'm not saying that you have to go look for a trading educator who manages money, who does put their neck on the line, because I don't think that's necessarily the case. But what you do need to just make sure is that you're comfortable with with whatever the method that the trader and educator is showing you, and also just be aware that they may not be who they sort of claim to be with all these amazing, oh look, I did this, I did that, oh I called the top in this and I called the bottom in that. Well, when you start hearing people saying that, then most of the time that's probably not true. Even if they did call it, even if they did, because a lot of trading educators do make calls, because then if you make enough calls, then people forget about the calls that were wrong, and then you can use those claims of I called the top in XYZ market. And you can use that, say, oh, look, there it is. Look, I did that back 6 months ago. I called the top there. But people forget about all of the calls that didn't amount to anything. And the reality is, even if they did call a top, did they actually trade it? Did they trade it the way that they've claimed? Honestly, the lies that go on, we've seen it from the other side. That these same people who make these calls have tried and failed in a professional environment. So it's a very different entity is the education side of things, and making calls even and saying, oh, market's going to go up, market's going to go down, and actually putting your money on it and making money from it, because it's very difficult to make, as you guys all know, to make a trading call and to actually see that trading call through to either to its logical end, or just to stay in for at least long enough to make a profit or whatever. So my advice is, if you're following a trading educator, I'm not saying that you have to require that they have to be a professional money manager, but certainly just take a little bit of a pinch of salt about what they are telling you. If you like their method and it suits you and your style of trading, if you can learn from that, great. Because what really makes someone profitable is not their strategy. What makes someone profitable is all the other stuff. As I always say, you have to have strategies. Don't become a strategy hopper either, because then you just ended up, oh, I've got a new strategy and another one, another one, another one. That's another sign that it's not right. So you have to have a strategy, but you have to have that mindset to be able to deal with when you're trading with whatever your strategy or approach is, to be able to deal with both the ups and the purple patches, and also the downs and the drawdowns. Do you just want to throw it all away as soon as you have a drawdown? Because it's all of that type of stuff which is so important when it comes to trading. Much more important than the strategy itself. I was just reading, just this past week, I was reading one of the Turtle Trader books again, and those turtle traders could go for a year and hardly make any money, and be underwater like 30% for a year, and then they'd catch those big trades and then they'd be up 100%, and it would literally swing like that. So but that's hard. It's the road less traveled, trading that way. But certainly, I'm not saying you have to trade in that way. That's just what they did with their style. What I'm saying is that if you've got a style and you believe in your style, then try and stick with it. Don't just jump around and everything else. Anyway, a little bit of advice there for you on a Saturday morning. Enjoy the rest of your weekends. I'll see you next week.